Hey everyone, welcome to another installment from Pro Engineering. In this episode, we are going to do two things. Number one, and most importantly, we are going to cover the MyTrickRC UF-7R. I own a lot of these UF-7 units, but this is the first UF-7R that I've seen. So we're going to take this and secondarily install all of the lights onto this Fiat 131 project. Usually in my light kit reviews, I simply review the kit, talk about it a bit, and then give you a thumbs up, or in some cases, a thumbs down or two. In this case here, we're going to talk about the UF-7, set it up, and install it on the Fiat 131 Abarth. Now, the UF-7C is not an inexpensive controller, but given what I want it to do, it is absolutely my most practical route. It does come with a few things here. It has this 9-volt controller, which I've talked about in the past. There's probably a link popping up right now. We're not going to use the 9-volt controller. We're actually going to use the onboard power from the receiver. As such, we're going to, let's see here. Okay, we're going to use the Y splitter. And I like to plug these in so that the long side is plugged into the controller and the short side is plugged into the receiver. It doesn't really matter if you plug this into the receiver or this. I just would rather pull the body off and have significantly longer cable. Okay, so this one here, we're going to do 1. I believe 1 is usually steering. Okay, you see the little tiny slot right there on the left? Oftentimes the old school Futaba connectors had a little slot that went in there. These don't have it, unfortunately, but you're going to want the white side to go along the slot. That's exactly how these are. If you look at it here, little slot, the white is closest to that little slot right there. Okay, so this will be our steering, probably. Little side note, this female connector does not have the slot, and this plug here for the servo does. So I'm going to chop. And this servo plug here does have the little tab. So we're going to snip the tab. And again, just make sure that you've got the colors matched up. White to white, black to black, red to red. And we are good there. All right. So in theory, we have this correct. Let's just make sure that the steering still works. I'm pretty sure that 1 is channel 1 and 2 is channel 2. Oh, wait. 1 motor, 2 turn. Okay. So that's the other way around. Okay. 1 is motor. 2 is turn signals, and if we get it wrong, that's okay. We can just reverse that. We have a number of modes that we can use, and I'll just show them to you real quick. I'll have a link to these, by the way. But basically, what we want to do, what I probably want to do, is go to car 4, multifunction tail brake signal lights, signals dim, versus not having signals, or you can just have the turn signals. So that basically means if you're driving during the day, you won't have your headlights on. Driving at night, you would have your headlights on. And there's a variety of other options as well. So we're going to focus on mode 7. Now that is on page 11. Before I get there, I did want to point out, this is a power pass-through. So if you've got a high voltage accessory like a roof light or something that requires a higher voltage LED, like a 5-volt item, that's what you want to use. Over here, we can see that the 9-volt adapter will plug into either one of port 1 or port 2. You would lose things like brake and steer, but you would still have the ability to power something. All right, so here we are at mode 0. I'll pause here for a minute because this is for trail trucks. So I guess you wouldn't want a brake light. I don't know. I'm a big fan of lights. I know the hardcore trail trucker crawler guys hate signals, hate brake lights. I like them. Partly because I went to the effort of installing them, might as well see them. All right, we're going to go to, okay, this one here. Pause if you want to see it. I'm going to move it away now and focus on this here. We want to go to mode 7, so we'll press this here. We're starting off in mode 0, 1. We're not at 0. Was that 4 blinks? I have no idea. We're just going to keep pressing until, I can't tell. We're going to start here. Okay, I made a mistake. Let's see here. Mode 5, I've used in a couple of cars. I was at mode 7, which is the one I use for my Torino build. And that one allows you to have a tail turn, and brake light, which is very, very common on older American cars as well as trucks. So basically, you're driving along, you hit the brakes, the taillight lights up. You turn the lights on and the taillight is dim, then you hit the signal and that same bulb flashes. Now that's not what I wanted here because the 131 has an amber turn signal. So we're going to come over here to car 5. Car 5 has tail brake, left turn, where's right turn? And there's right turn. So that's exactly what we want. Ooh, center brake light. Huh, interesting. That's kind of cool. I've got the lights a little bit dim right now. I reset this by basically going all the way around until it didn't flash anymore. Now it flashed once. This way I'm able to count very easily to get to 5. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I figured something out. I plugged the signals on and they're on, but they shouldn't be on because I'm not steering. If we turn left, here we go. If we turn left, now they're on. Now they're flashing. That's where I screwed up. So right here it says mode 5. Mode 5. Turn signals normally dim. I screwed that up. I should have it turn signals normally off. That's mode 4. We might as well just go ahead and scroll through these anyway. So let's see here. Mode 6. Now that's where we were earlier. 7. I think that's the one we have right. Yeah. You can see here mode 9 has the typical kind of emergency vehicle flashes, which is really cool. Back at mode 4, we can see that our signals are off. Let's turn left. There we go. That's what we wanted. We have our tail lights here that are dim until we hit the brakes. And then I decided that I wanted brake lights, which is actually how I wanted the system set up in the first place. So there's our tail lights and our brake lights. See how those are off until we hit the brake? And our reverse lights are right there. That is fantastic. Now we need to move on to our headlights. All right, everyone. I'm sorry that I'm not at the studio right now. For those of you who don't know, the house is under construction, so I'm, well, not there. I thought it would be the best to show what I did with the lighting on the car while on the car because it was just getting really confusing. So that's what we're going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is take the body off. Now, I don't want you to be too scared, but it's a catastrophe under there. Reason being is I designed the full interior in the car. And what that means is now there's no room to put stuff, especially with this chassis. On top of that, it's got magnetic body mounts. If we flip it over, we can see that things have happened. I'm going to pull the body off. Okay, it comes right off. The 2 wires there give you the illusion that things are nice and tidy, but I assure you they aren't. All right, we can see what is going to try and hold this here, how that works. Okay, and we're going to look at the UF-7R right there. So we have the left turn up here in the top. That is, what is that, C? And then we have right turn down here. So the way this is working is these 2 here are a pair of amber turn signals. The one at the rear over here is a single amber turn signal. Those go to both ports on the left and the right side on the UF-7. Okay, now we still are talking about this port here at the top, which is the reverse light's pretty easy. There's only one thing plugged into that. That one is up in the top left. That is A, right over there. So the underdash lights, as well as this other yellow light over here, those get interesting. Those are going into, well, these here are going into a Y adapter, but that goes into a Y adapter as well to the front amber lights, or to the front yellow lights. And the same is actually true with the headlights. There's 2 pairs of Y adapters under here for the white and for the yellow and orange lighting. I would not do that, partly because that's a lot of lighting. I can't say that this is designed for that. And secondarily, look what I've done to my car. Now I'm gonna put the body on and we'll, hopefully have some solace in that it looks great. I'll do my best to show you how this works. The vehicle's been on for a little while, so it goes into like this sleep mode, which basically has all the hazards on. With the body on, we can see how good this thing looks. Turn signals, both sides. Got your little repeater there, which I love. Okay, headlights look great. These are warm white LEDs I kind of ran out. So these are, I wouldn't call these blue or anything. They're just not as warm as these are, but these look great. Got our amber lights over here. Just so you know that amber lights in general don't really put out that much light. So even though they're running at full voltage, they're kind of dim, but it gives the look I'm going for. So let's take a look at the back of the car. While we turn, we can see the inside lights of the dash. Left signal, right signal, license plate lights back there. Okay, let's go ahead and raise the car up and make it do some interesting things. So we'll accelerate, hit the brakes. Okay. Cool, reverse. When you back up, the brake lights come on, which is, I'm not that big of a fan of that. I mean, I guess usually when I back up, I'm not really going that fast. So I don't know, whatever. Okay. My friends, thank you for watching. I know earlier in the video I said that I normally don't install the lighting in the car to show you how it actually works. Perhaps there is a reason for that. The car's gone to sleep mode, by the way. This was extremely complicated, and had I used a cheap controller, I would have spent hours effectively just wiring up my own lighting, right? I would have used the controller for the turn signals. You know, maybe not even that, because a lot of these controllers, the minute you throw an additional light on the circuit, they simply won't function. So while, yes, it was possible that I could have done this with an inexpensive controller, time-wise would have been insane. Secondly, Tamiya does offer a couple of different controllers that you can use in tandem. I suspect that their cost would have been, again, astronomical by comparison, and would have taken up even more room in this case. Yes, it was absolutely possible where I could have cut a lot of these wires down, but I was trying to get this project done, and it was a very, very complicated build, so I just wanted it done. So forgive me on the execution, but definitely this video is about the lovely MyTrickRC UF-7R light controller. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you soon, hopefully in my studio soon enough.